All right, so I have thought, how do I start this video? There's so many, this is so hard to start this video, guys. I feel like this is the ultimate Natasha Denona Chisme gossip video that I have done since I started this series, okay? So this literally has been what I have been talking about since basically the beginning of this series. So I have the ultimate gossip. I think it's gonna be holiday. So before I get into it though, don't forget to go ahead and hit subscribe, especially if you're a huge Natasha Denona fan. I do have a series on my channel. I'm buying everything of Natasha Denona's for an entire year. I also like to give you guys little updates on potential launches. Nothing is ever 100% guaranteed. I'm not gonna show you guys images because I don't ruin brand launches. We just speculate and maybe get some chisme and maybe get some gossip and maybe we get a little help. But this is mostly just gossip, right? So don't forget to hit subscribe if you like these kind of videos, and let's go ahead and let's get into it. Guys, my internet detectives have come through this time. I feel like my DMs on Instagram, if you're not following me, it's Christina Brooke Beauty, have gone haywire. I literally keep getting DMs, okay? And I have talked with many of you guys about a palette that we have been wanting to launch for a very, very long time, and we have finally, and guys, I feel like we are finally going to see it. It's coming. What is this? Is this the mini retro? Gosh, wouldn't it be so nice if this color story right here, there goes another DM. Wouldn't it be nice if this color story right here was a larger palette? How many times did we talk about that? Seeing a midi retro. Now, Natasha Denona did confirm last year, I believe it was, that even though she had released the midi retro, which you guys remember this, guys, she had confirmed that yes, she had released this and that this was a vision that she had of a retro palette, yada yada yada, and maybe it wasn't similar to what we had in mind because we were all thinking mini retro, right? And we were all thinking greens, and a lot of us, maybe not everybody, but a lot of us were kind of like, no, we wanted it to look like this guy right here because we loved this guy, okay? Natasha Denona heard us, and she said she was releasing a part 2 to the midi retro. She was gonna release a retro glam palette, okay? And we knew that this was coming, and we knew it was gonna have green in it because she has hinted that it was going to have green in it and it was gonna be coming. Now, I will tell you, I still do not know if it's a midi or her larger pan palettes. If you guys hear the wind chime, I live in Miami. We just had a huge tropical storm yesterday. Still getting little bands coming through, but luckily we got spared by this hurricane. We didn't really feel much, but we are still getting like the little winds. So all of my wind chimes outside are like going ding, 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 ding. Unfortunately, some other parts of Florida were not so lucky, and I haven't seen too much about where the hurricane really had its biggest impact, but I have heard from a few friends that the west coast of Florida and the middle of Florida, like Sanibel, around that area, didn't do very well. But yeah, Miami, we did kind of get spared this time. But anyway, so that's why you're gonna hear little wind chimes every once in a while. But back to what I was talking about. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be the midi size or her bigger size, which some people have asked me, like, why are they different? Well, because it's a bigger size. So she has this palette, which is her larger palette, and then she has the midi. The pan sizes are different. So if you guys see, the midi is like this, and the larger, I'm showing you the gold, but also pastel was like this. You see the larger pans are bigger. So that's why. So far she has given us these 2 retros, and we knew that there was gonna be something else coming. Well, guys, this video is the one that I'm going to tell you that there is somewhat of a confirmation, an alleged release of the retro glam is coming. An alleged release, okay? I may or may have not seen what it looks like. It may or may not be all over Instagram and on some other websites that I'm sure if you have friends down below in the comments, they could probably tell you where. But there is circulation of imagery. Now, is this imagery legit? I do not know. I never know when I film these videos if if the images that go around are real or what people give me in the gossip is 100% real. But I will say I am pretty confident that this is coming, and I've been confident that this is coming. I truly believe that this is going to be a holiday launch. I think it would be the smartest thing to do for a holiday launch. A lot of people love to buy during the holidays, and this is a palette everybody has been anticipating and wanting. So in my personal opinion, I believe this will be a holiday launch. I think it's going to come out this year. If there's already circulation of imagery, I think this is going to be announced very soon. So there is something in the works, guys, and it's going to look like this, okay? So my biggest thing is I'm going to tell you guys straight away, if it looks like what I saw, we are going to be very happy, okay? The Natasha Denona fans of retro, you are going to be happy. I am almost positive of it. The only thing I could see maybe some people saying is they want a little bit more depth, but I haven't seen any swatches, so I can't even speak for that right now. But I will say, from what I saw, I think we're going to be happy. I can confirm that I saw greens. I saw greens. I saw a few greens. I also saw a sage green, which literally made my year. Because you guys know I love sage green. It's my favorite color in the entire universe. I literally buy bags, plates, anything that I can find sage green, I buy it. So there is a sage green in there. I am over the moon. This is like, if you know that there's holiday launches coming out soon and you wanted this palette larger, save your money on all the other palettes. Just save your money. Something is coming. I believe it's coming very soon. Guys, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. There's so many tones in it. If this is what it looks like, what I'm looking at, there is so many tones in here that are gorgeous. Like I said, the only obstacle is going to be a little bit of the depth in here. I'm wondering, but I'm telling you, I don't know. All I will say is that I'm happy. This looks very interesting. I also think that this retro palette that's coming out, if it is coming out, is probably going to be very complimentary to the glam palette. I think both of those together might be like, oh, mixed in heaven. I'm very excited. Oh, I'm over the moon, guys. I am over the moon, and I'm so excited. So if you guys know anything about this, or if you guys are as excited as me, please leave your comments down below. I wish that I could just, like, honestly, cool tones, champagnes, camels, cool tones. I am in love, okay? So that's the gossip, guys. I think that that's like the ultimate gossip, right? Wasn't that the ultimate gossip? I feel like it was. So I'm so happy. I'm very happy. And I will tell you, there is one thing about Natasha Denona that I really appreciate, is that her fans, her loyal fans, the ones that always buy from her, they complained about retro because they really wanted it to look like this because they loved it so much. And she literally made another palette with the same name just because her fans wanted it. I honestly think that this is like, I think that this is amazing. And I do feel like she listened to exactly what we wanted, because when I say what we have been describing, what I have described, what I feel like a lot of you guys have described, it has been basically, it's so similar to what I'm seeing. Get excited, okay? Get excited. So for the rest of today's video, we are going crazy over in the DMs. For the rest of today's video, I am going to do an eye look with my beautiful palette that unfortunately one of my favorite colors has dropped. But I'm gonna do an eye look using my mini retro just to get you guys excited. So that is what we're gonna do right now. But of course, if you guys have any comments about the gossip, don't forget to leave those down below. Follow me on Instagram and hit subscribe. But let's get into a fun little eye look. So I wanted to create something very pretty and get us all excited for what may be coming down the pipeline. All right, so we are zoomed in. I did have a few appointments this morning, so I have a little bit of eyeliner on, but I basically took off all my eyeshadow, so we're gonna work with what we've got going. Now, one of the reasons that mini retro was such a big deal is just the color selection was so beautiful. I don't feel like we saw too many of this type of color selection going around at the time that this was launched. And I will tell you, even now, I don't even see people jumping on this color scheme. Like, it's starting, like you're seeing it a little bit with Anastasia did it, but like this color scheme has not been hit yet. And I do think the new one is going to hit it pretty good. So I'm excited. So we're gonna jump into into this shade right here, which is like a paler pink. It also has a little bit of like that camely kind of like taupish tone. This is like very, you're gonna see, this is like crossing over, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and put that down all over the lid. I'm just gonna kind of use this as the base shade and also like the peekaboo shade. So I'm wondering, how is everybody? Does anybody live in the west coast of Florida, or have you lived in the west coast of Florida before, or up north? Orlando people, is there anybody from Orlando that's watching? How is everything over there? Like, I know like down here in South Florida, we usually, I mean, like usually here in South Florida, we always get the hurricane scares. Since I experienced Andrew, I know what a real hurricane can feel like, and I'm like petrified of them when they're like really coming. But Andrew was one that literally turned on us. It wasn't supposed to come, and then it was like last minute it turned. And I remember being actually in Marco Island, which actually got hit now. I was in Marco Island when Andrew was on its way and we were on a trip, and nobody wanted to leave because everybody thought it wasn't coming because, you know, it wasn't supposed to come. And then it did that turn and it came straight towards Miami. And I'll never forget that day, because I remember after that happened, they have started announcing hurricanes very different. Like, they literally don't tell you, like, is it coming, is it not? They literally tell you, like, it's probably going to hit you. It's probably going to hit you for a really long time, because they just don't know, like, is it going to turn? I think they get very skeptical of hurricanes nowadays after that happened with Andrew. Here in Miami, we kind of knew we weren't going to get hit for a little while, just because we saw the track was going a little north. But, you know, these type of hurricanes, they could turn at any minute. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this color here. This is the most beautiful green, but it's more of like, I think she calls it a gray. It's like a gray green, but I love this shade. Honestly, if she would have put this shade again into the bigger palette, I would have been fine with it, because I just love this shade so much. I would buy it like 500 times over. It is a beautiful, you guys hear that wind chime? I'm so sorry if it's annoying. There's nothing I can do. I can take it down, but I don't know how. So this is just like the most beautiful shade of like a grayish green, but this is what started everybody saying, well, I want green, was I think this shade. I think it just opened up everybody's eyes to how beautiful a green palette from Natasha Denona could be, was this shade right here. So I'm going to do a really rough eye look. Hopefully it comes out good. But like I said, I just really want to get this video up for you guys and share with you guys some good news with all this bad news that's happening because of Ian and this crazy hurricane situation. So I hope to share some fun news. There we go. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my God, I love that shade. Look at that. So anytime I hear that northern Florida is getting hit by hurricanes, I always get a little scared, because I know the construction in northern Florida isn't like the same code as it is in Miami. Like Miami, we make almost everything with concrete. We're so used to hurricanes here that our buildings have a lot of building codes. But as you get north, they're kind of more lax with that. And I know that there's even like wood construction still going on, like by Orlando and areas like that. So that's when you start getting really scared for the homes and the structures. And of course on the coastline, you got a lot of flooding. Here in the Keys, there was overflowing onto the banks and everything. I mean, we got pretty high tide over here, so I can't even imagine. So now let me go ahead and jump into this one. But do you guys see that shade? Tell me that shade. This was just, guys, this was Natasha Denona's most beautiful palette. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see this in the bigger form. And what I saw, it really is living up to this color story. So I am very excited. Actually, I wish you would just include the mini into the big palette too, because I love this mini so much. It's my favorite one ever. So yeah, just look at that look. Just look at this look. Like, this look is like so simply done, and it is gorgeous. I'm just gonna go ahead and just do a little tight line with the green. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna go try the pumpkin spice latte. I've never tried a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks, and everybody keeps talking about it, and I'm like, okay, I've got to try this, because I can't be like the only person. Am I the only person on earth that hasn't tried one? If you've tried it, if you have not tried it, please say down below, I have not tried this, because I feel like everybody has tried this pumpkin latte, and I've never even like, I never ordered one. And then I have to edit the video. You know what? I'm gonna pumpkin latte and edit. All right. Look at this eye look. Just look at that. Look at this. This is why Natasha's giving us the MIDI, hopefully, retro glam to look like this. This is why. This is why. This palette is the most beautiful mini in the world. And I am so excited because I do think it's going to live up to this. Okay. I'm so excited. So if anybody knows any information more about launch date and all that stuff, leave that down below. I do not know when it's coming out, but I do really feel like she's going to release it for holiday. Actually, I would be shocked if we didn't hear it, like, maybe like in the next 2 weeks. We have to hear an announcement. Like, it has to be coming. But either way, thanks for watching. And don't forget that I told you that this is coming out. So all those other glitzy, glamorous palettes that you keep seeing going around the internet, if you're not into them, save your money. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.